Hello student, I am Professor Devashish Bose, Head Department of Criminology and Forensic Science, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. Today I am going to present a lecture of BSc first semester on the unit Introduction to Forensic Science, and the topic will be Interpol, which has been jointly prepared by myself and Mr. Giriraj Sharma, a PhD scholar and a UGC JRF at Department of Criminology and Forensic Science, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya, Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. So let's start our discussion while taking a look at what we are going to learn today. Module 1 will deal about Introduction to Interpol. Module 2 will be History and Development of Interpol. Module 3 will be the Structure and Governance of Interpol. Module 4 will be Functions of Interpol. And finally, Module 5 will be our conclusion. So my dear student, let's start with Module 1, that is Introduction to Interpol. So my dear student, we will be learning about a very interesting organization, that is Interpol. As we know that crime is increasing at a very fast pace day by day, whether it is a developed country, developing country or underdeveloped country, not a single country is untouched. There will be one form of the crime or other. The nature of the crime changes. Maybe you can say the violence in those crime changes. The structure of the crime changes, but crime happens. So these crimes are very heinous in nature and they destroy the human being and their property. Therefore, for controlling the crime rate and book the criminals, we need such type of agency that can work at international level. That is a collaboration between all the nations. So there are many agencies which work at the international level and one of them is Interpol. Interpol or the International Police Organization is an intergovernmental organization facilitating international police cooperation. Today, Interpol is the world's largest international police organization with around 190 member countries. Do you see how large it is? Moreover, these countries have membership of 190 separate. Their police comes together and work together. Each country maintains a national central bureau staffed by national law enforcement officers. The NCB is typically a division of the National Police Force or investigation serve and services as the unique contact point for Interpol action. It forms the link with Interpol's global network, enabling member countries to work together on cross-border investigations. NCBs are increasingly involved in shaping the organization's direction. In addition to this, our country has also the membership of Interpol that is situated at our national capital, New Delhi. So, in the modern world, the role of Interpol is very clear: to make the world a safer place to live and commute. Nowadays, the number of heinous crime has increased, like human trafficking, wildlife cases, sexual assaults, child abuse. So, for lowering the rate of crime, Interpol is working in the right direction. Module 2, History and Development of Interpol. My dear student, now we will be discussing about the history and development of Interpol. The journey of Interpol started in 1914 at the first International Criminal Police Congress that was held in Monaco. The meeting brought together police officials and judicial representatives from around 24 countries to find a way to cooperate on solving crimes, notable arrest and extradition procedures, identification techniques and the idea of centralized criminal records. So it would be easy for you when you go to timeline of history of Interpol, you can understand how it starts working. In the year 1923, it was Dr. John Schober, president of the Vienna Police, who took initiative to build the International Criminal Police Commission, that is ICPC, with headquarters in Vienna, Austria. First of all, Interpol's International Public Safety Journal was published and the list of the wanted persons were published in that. In 1926, the General Assembly held in Berlin proposes that each country establish a central point of contact within its police structure, the forerunner of the National Central Bureau (NCB). Next, in the year 1935, Interpol launched their International Radio Network. This radio network provides an independent telecommunication system solely for the use of the criminal police authorities at national level. So, without any trouble or leakage, the information they can easily book the perpetrator. In the year 1938, after annexing of Austria into Nazi Germany, in 1938, this organization came under the direct control of Nazi Germany. Therefore, most countries stop participating and ICPC effectively ceases to exist as an international organization. Finally, we come to 1942. The International Police Commission completely fell under the supervision of Nazi Germany and shifted to Berlin. So, most members of the organization withdrew their support during this period of ICPC. If you go to the history, you will know why they are doing so. So, they call it their dark age. No movement was recorded in that time. In the year 1946, after the end of the World War II, that was in 1945, many countries came together like Belgium, France, Scandinavian countries and United Kingdom. Moreover, Belgium led the rebuilding of the organization as the International Criminal Police Organization. A new headquarters was set up in Paris and Interpol chosen as the organization's telegraphic address. Democratic process to elect the president and executive committee was instituted. In the year 1949, the United Nations grants Interpol consultative status as a non-government organization. In the year 1956, following the adoption of Modernization Constitution, the ICPC becomes the International Criminal Police Organization Interpol, abbreviated to ICPO Interpol or just Interpol. So, we commonly known as Interpol. The organization becomes autonomous by collecting dues from member countries and relying on investment as the main means of support. In the year 1971, the United Nations recognizes Interpol as an intergovernmental organization. See the change, see the shift. It due to their work. In 1990, Interpol launched the X400 communication system. In 1992, an automated search facility for remote searches of Interpol database was introduced. In 1995, as a part of a program, regionalization of the General Assembly adopts guidelines for the establishment and operation of regional bureaus. In the year 1998, Interpol Criminal Information System ICIS database was created. In the year 2002, the I-24/7 web-based communication system was launched, significantly improving NCB's access to Interpol's database and services. Canada was the first country to connect to this system. Database of stolen and lost travel documents was lost. In the year 2005, Interpol, a United Nations special notice was issued for individual subjects to UN sanction against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. Technology known as MIND and FIND allows frontline officers to connect directly to Interpol system. Recently, in the year 2015, official inauguration of the Interpol's Global Complex for Innovation in Singapore. It works to combat cybercrime and help police around the world address emerging threats through innovation and training. So, my dear student, this was the history and development of Interpol, and I think you got a lot of knowledge from this. It would help you definitely in your competitive exams. So, my dear student, we will be going to learn about this interesting lecture on the structure and governance of Interpol. As we have understood at present that 190 countries are the member of this Interpol that drives the Interpol's activity within a clear framework of governing bodies and statutory meetings. So, Interpol has 4 essential components. They are General Assembly, Executive Committee, General Secretariat, National Central Bureaus. Now, we will be talking one by them on each of their bodies. First is the General Assembly. It is the Interpol's supreme governing body. This body of Interpol is constituted by the delegates who are appointed by the governments of member countries. If we talk about the working schedule of this supreme governing body of Interpol, it meets once a year and takes all major decisions affecting the general policy, the resources needed for the international cooperation, working methods, finances and programs of the activity. Of more functions of the General Assembly, it is to elect organization's executive committee. Now we move on to the other body, that is Executive Committee. The Executive Committee, or commonly known as EC, meets thrice a year and sets organization policy and direction. The EC members sit at the top level of their policing in their own country and bring many years of experience and knowledge to advise and guide them. Its role is to supervise the execution of the decision of the General Assembly, prepare the agenda for sessions of the General Assembly, submit to the General Assembly any program of work or project which is considered useful, supervise the administration and work of the General Secretary. So, what is the composition of Executive Committee? It is generally elected by General Assembly. The EC has 13 members comprising the President of the organization, 3 Vice President and 9 delegates, all from different countries. The President is elected every 4 years and the Vice President for 3 years. They are not immediately eligible for re-election, either to the same post or as delegates to the Executive Committee. With this, we move to the other part, that is General Secretariat. Located in Lyon, France, the General Secretariat operates 24 hours, 365 days of a year, means it works every second to second. The current General Secretary is Jürgen Stock, a global presence recognizing the value of bringing together policing with a reason to share experience and tackle common crime issue. The Secretariat has 7 regional offices in Argentina, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, El Salvador, Kenya, Thailand, Zimbabwe. Interpol's presence on the international stage is strengthened through their liaising officers at the United Nations in New York and the European Union in Brussels. These enables them to closely work with UN as well as EU departments and entities that share their mission of preventing and combating transnational crime and develop joint effort to enhance regional and global security. In order to further strengthen their physical presence across the world, they opened the Interpol Global Complex for Innovation, that is IGCI, in Singapore. That was officially inaugurated in the year 2015, which we have discussed earlier. The activity center at the IGCI revolves around the research and development in the identification of crimes and criminal, innovation-based capacity building and provision of 24/7 operation police support. International personnel reflecting the diversity of their membership, around 100 different nationalities are being represented at the Secretariat and the regional offices. Many of them law enforcement personnel seconded or loaned from the other national administration. Having these connections in all regions of the world ensures the organization can provide enhanced support wherever it may be needed. Staff works in any of these organizations 4 official languages, that is Arabic, English, French and Spanish, and have developed new tool database and services to help member countries fight a wide range of criminal activities and to encourage communication and cooperation between National Central Bureau. Now we move on to National Central Bureau. At the heart of every Interpol member country is a National Central Bureau, NCB, linking national police with the global network. It is typically a division of the National Police Agency or Investigation Service and serves as the contact point to the Interpol's activity in this field. Staffed by highly trained and decorated police officers, NCBs are the lifeline of Interpol, contributing to their criminal database and cooperating together on cross-border investigation, cooperation and arrest. Given the cross-border nature of organized crime, NCBs work together increasingly on a regional basis. In all regions of the world, we see the member countries combining resources and expertise in successful intervention against those crime areas that affect them the most, that is, tackling of counterfeiting and pirated goods in South America, to illegal soccer gambling and cricket gambling in Asia and Indian country, ivory smuggling from Africa. In the past decade, NCBs have become more active in shaping Interpol's activities and plan. The head of NCB conference, initiated in the year 2005, provides a unique forum for building relationships, sharing information and working together to find joint solution to the common challenges. So my dear students, now we are going to discuss the functions of Interpol. So let's start with the functions. The functions are to provide training and capacity building to the police officers, data exchange. National boundaries become increasingly meaningless to the criminals. Effective and timely police communication across the border is more important than ever before. At Interpol, one of the main priority is to enable the world's police to exchange information securely and rapidly. Two tools perform this function, that is I-24/7, a secure global police network, and I-Link, taking data exchange to the next level. So these are the main functions which the Interpol are doing on. Notices. You might have heard about red corner notice, Interpol issuing notices. So what are these notices? They are international requests for cooperation or alerts allowing police in the member countries to share critical crime related information. These notices are different type of. First, red corner notice or red notice, to seek the location and arrest of wanted persons with a view to extradition or similar lawful action. A yellow notice, to help locate missing person, often minors, or to help identify a person who are unable to identify themselves. Blue notice, to collect additional information about a person's identity, location or activity in relation to crime. Black notice, to seek information on unidentified bodies. Green notice, to provide warnings and intelligence whereabouts about persons who have committed some criminal offense and are likely to repeat these offenses or crime in other countries. Orange notice, to warn of an event, a person or an object or a process representing a serious and imminent threat to the public safety. Purple notice, to seek or provide information on modus operandi, objects, devices and concealment method used by the criminal. Interpol United Nations Security Council Special Notice. This is issued by groups and individuals who are the target of UN Security Council Sanctions Committee. Now we move on to another part, that is Command and Coordination Center. The Command and Coordination Center, CCC, is the operations room of Interpol, offering a point of contact for any member country seeking urgent police information or facing crisis situation. The CCC is manned 24 hours a day and 365 days a year by staff members of various backgrounds and nationalities who are fluent in different languages of our globe. The CCC strengthens the reactivity and operational effectiveness of the world's police through the following function, that is, assessing all incoming communications and determining the priority level of each message received by the General Secretariat, conducting instant check on all Interpol database, distributing and assigning information, and replying to all urgent queries immediately, monitoring open source in order to assess threats and to ensure the full resource of the organizations are ready and available whenever and wherever they may be needed, coordinating the exchange of intelligence and information for important operations and involving specialist unit, regional offices and external partners as necessary, issuing alerts and publishing notices where threat pose an imminent danger. These includes orange notices to warn police and public about potential threats and purple notices used to seek or provide information on modus operandi, assuming a crisis management role during serious incidences such as terrorist attack, and coordinating specialized assistance in the form of an incident response team. This brings together experts in various fields such as forensic, DNA, drug, etc., etc. Deploying support teams at major events with an international implication in order to support national police with security arrangements. Next, response team. At the request of member country, they can provide specialized team to assist national police. There are two types of teams, each made up of experts in the relevant field. One is incident response team. So an Interpol incident response team, commonly known as IRT, is deployed at the request of a member country during a crisis situation. The team promote cooperation among countries and facilitate access to Interpol's tool and services. There are two types of IRTs. Disaster, an emergency response to unforeseen catastrophic event such as a large scale accident or some natural disaster like tsunami or these kind of things. Crime, the deployment of specialized personnel to assist and support a member country faced with a major or serious police issue, like suppose some terrorist attack or something like this. Crime IRT provides specific expertise and investigative support to that police. An IRT can be briefed, equipped and deployed anywhere in the world within a period of 12 to 24 hours of that incident. So you can see how fast they are. Maybe one Interpol team is sitting next to your house. It could be possible. Now, next is major event support team. An Interpol Major Event Support Team, that is IMEST, is deployed to assist member countries in the preparation, coordination and implementation of security arrangements for major events. Major events are high-profile conferences or sporting events which attracts large crowd and an intense media coverage. As such, they also attract individual or groups intent to disrupt to gain attention for their cause or for just criminal gains. Forensics. Forensic experts and the exchange of forensic data is vital to international investigation. At Interpol, they also maintain a database of fingerprints, DNA profile, facial images, allowing police across the world to make connection between criminals and the crime scene. They also provide training to the police in the member countries to ensure that frontline officers have the knowledge and necessary skill to assess, preserve and share the best evidence in the line of best practice. So these all are the functions of the Interpol out there. Next, we move on to criminal intelligence analysis. Criminal intelligence analysis is an essential component of effective policing at both the operational and the strategic level. Analysts study data related to criminals, crime suspect incidences, issue and trends. By collecting and assessing these data, they can identify relationship or connection between different crime in different places. The analysis is then used to provide insight that can drive a support law enforcement investigation, operation and strategy, as well as influencing the government policy and the decision. So what are the main objectives? The main objectives are the central task of criminal intelligence analysis are to help officials, senior law enforcers, policy makers and decision makers deals more effectively with uncertain and new challenges. provide timely warning and threats, support operational activities and complex investigation. So these are the objectives. Next, border management, fighting terrorism and transnational crime through effective border management. Interpol's Integrated Border Management Task Force. The Integrated Border Management Task Force, or commonly known as IBMFT, is the central point of contact and coordination for international border security activities at Interpol. The task force supports law enforcement officers working at the front line of the border, securing them by providing them with access to Interpol tools and services, delivering capacity building and training courses, coordinating operational activities. The task force draws upon expertise across departments within Interpol as well as from international partners. iCheckIt. iCheckIt is a screening solution that complements and enhances national border security system. It allows trusted partners in the private sectors to conduct advanced passenger check-in real-time in collaboration with the law enforcement community. Multi-year programs. Interpol coordinates multi-year programs designed to enhance the skill of police in different regions to tackle all forms of transnational crimes. These programs typically comprise training, operations, and technical assistance. Now we move on to our next module, module 5, and it is our conclusion, the conclusion of this interesting lecture. So my dear student, I think with this lecture now you are motivated to join Interpol. So for joining Interpol, you have to join the National Police. So I hope you might have enjoyed this interesting lecture. In this lecture, we have discussed how Interpol came into existence and how it is working. Interpol, or the International Police Organization, is an intergovernmental organization facilitating international police cooperation. Today, Interpol is the world's largest international police organization with around 190 member countries. As we know that the International Police Organization, or commonly known as Interpol, is an intergovernmental organization facilitating international police cooperation. Interpol is maintaining peace and harmony in the world. With all these information here, we are coming to the end of today's interesting and interactive lecture. Do keep in mind what we have discussed today. It's time for you all to do some self-study. This is Professor Devashish Bose signing off. If you want to learn more and enhance your knowledge, do log on to our website for MCQs, quizzes, LORs at www.cec.nic.in. Till then, goodbye.